Hi, my name is Ben. I'm a physical therapist at Total Physical Therapy, and today we are going to be talking about how to progress your vestibular rehab exercises. So you have dizziness and you decided to go onto YouTube and look up some exercises that might help the dizziness get better. And you come across a group of exercises called vestibular rehab exercises. And you were told that the idea of these exercises were to provoke your dizziness enough, not too much, but enough to make you a little bit dizzy, and that over time you would build tolerance to these exercises. You tried the exercises and you found out, actually, these exercises don't make me feel dizzy at all. What do I need to do in order to make these work for myself? And so today we are going to go over some ideas that you can use to try to see if we can make the vestibular exercises more appropriate for your specific condition. There are a couple of ways that we can change or modify the intensity of vestibular rehab exercises. For example, with this exercise that we call VOR times 1, we are holding out the target in front of us and we are taking our head and turning it side to side while keeping our eyes on the target. One simple way that we can improve or increase the intensity is simply by making sure that we are going at an adequate speed. A lot of people that do this exercise are not moving their head side to side quickly enough. And so one thing that we need to think about is that we're moving our head side to side fast enough that we can keep the picture in vision. We're actually able to see the picture or the letter or whatever we are using, but making sure we're going as fast as we can, which for a lot of people is 2 times per second. We're turning the head 2 times one side to the other side every second. Conversely, if the exercise is too hard, one way that you can pull back the exercise is by slowing down the frequency. Instead of moving as fast as you can, maybe we need to pull back a little bit in order for you to be able to tolerate the exercise well. Another consideration that we can use with vestibular exercises outside of the speed of movement that you are using is simply thinking about the position that you are doing the exercise in. A lot of people try these exercises sitting down, which is an excellent place to start. However, if you're doing really well, you're moving your head about 2 beats per second, and you're in a sitting position and you're still not, getting the stimulus that you want, well, we can figure out other positions for you to work in. A position that will be a little bit trickier outside of a sitting position is in a standing position. Now, if you feel like you're doing really well standing up, well, we can change your base of support in a standing position in order to make it more difficult for you. Instead of keeping your feet shoulder width apart, you can move your feet closer together into what we call a Romberg stance, and that will challenge your balance a little bit more. If you conquer the exercise here, you can move one of the foot forward about halfway into what we call a semi-tandem stance, where the big toe is kind of tucked into the arch of your other foot, and you can perform the exercise there. If you feel like you have conquered that situation, you can move one foot in front of the other into what we call a tandem stance. If you are just rocking it and decide that you are doing really well in that position as well, you can go up onto even just one foot and practice in a single leg stance. This would be one way that we can change the intensity of an exercise, is by changing your base of support or the position that you're doing the exercise in. Other ways that you can also modify these exercises is doing them in a variety of other positions. So maybe I can do them on hands and knees in a quadruped position. Maybe I can do them in a half kneeling position or in a tall kneeling position. So there's a variety of different positions that you can do the same exercise in order to get the stimulus or the result that you want. Another way that we can modify the exercise in order to make it a little bit more challenging for you is by making the surface that you are interacting with unstable. One way we can do that in a sitting position is you can take things like foam pads or maybe a Dynadisc or maybe a stack of pillows, and by sitting on them, you are no longer as stable as you were sitting on a stable surface. You can do this in a sitting position, you can do this in standing positions where maybe you're standing on a piece of foam or standing on a pillow or whatever unstable surface you want to interact with. And by interacting with an unstable surface, your feet or your bottom is no longer able to interact with that surface as quickly, and so it's a little bit delayed. You have to kind of figure out how to keep your balance in those positions. Another way to modify the exercise to make it a little bit more challenging for you is also to think about the length of time that we are doing the exercise. Maybe initially you're doing it for 15, 20 seconds, and as you get better at it, maybe you should start performing it a little longer. Maybe go all the way to 30 seconds or 45 seconds. And so you can increase the length of time that you're doing the exercise. Another way you can increase it is, instead of just increasing the length of time, is you can do more sets of it throughout the day. Maybe you are trying to do it maybe 3 times a day. Maybe you should try 4 times a day or 5 times a day. Obviously, you have to kind of do this within reason. You don't want to be doing, vestibular rehab exercises for 8 hours a day, but you get the idea. If you want to try to improve what you're doing, you can do it for longer durations of time in order to get, again, a better stimulus. I hope you guys found this video beneficial. If you did, give us a thumbs up. Leave some comments down in the comment section down below. If you guys have any other ideas of either exercises that you want us to cover or topics that you want us to cover, leave those in the comment section below as well. And as always, I hope you guys have a great day.